anyone need agendas? Anyone need copies of the agenda? Jackie, raise your hand and Ms. Angles will get it to you. If anyone needs copies of the agenda, please raise your hand and we'll give one to you. At this time, I'd like to officially call to order the First Congressional District Convention, Democratic Convention. My name is Andre DeBerry. I'm presently serving at this moment as First CD Chair, and today we'll be serving at this moment as a temporary chair until we elect a permanent chair for the convention. At this time, we're running a little late because of registration, so we want to try to get back on schedule as much as possible. So at this time, we will ask that you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to ask that Bill Stone, former Senator Bill Stone, would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Where? Oh. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For the record, the convention was called to order at 10:25. It is not listed on your program, but I think it's always in order that we would have a moment of meditation, a word of prayer, if you will. At this time, we will ask Larry Rubin, would you bring us a word of prayer? If you can remain seated, just by
Let us all meditate on our purpose here today, which is to serve the people of CD1, of all the people of Mississippi, to let us become part of the universal movement for equity and equality for all. Mississippi plays a major role in that, both in very concrete terms and in spiritual terms throughout the nation.
Thank you, Larry. As always, it's always an honor to remember the Creator who gives and sustains our life and sustains our purpose for which we are here today. I want to personally welcome you guys to the First Congressional District Convention, Democratic Convention, as we embark upon the third of the four legs of the process of selecting delegates, selecting members of the committee, and selecting delegate committee men and women, man, woman, to the National Committee. And as we contemplate the future of this party and how we elect Democratic candidates, it is our foremost purpose to elect Democratic candidates. Not necessarily to do some of the other things that we do, but our primary purpose is to elect candidates. We're so happy to have our chairman here with us this morning. We will allow him a minute in just a second to bring greetings and presentation to us. So at this moment, before we go to the federal candidates, we're going to allow the chairman to come and just offer us a word of encouragement and a word of hope as we seek to move this state forward under the auspices of the Democratic Party and its leadership. Chairman Taylor.
Thank you, Chairman. Democrats, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's get it together now. Democrats, good morning. Good morning. Democrats, you can win.
Yes.
Let me say this very quickly. I'm going to challenge and give you a little pushback about Mississippi being red. I don't believe it. You know why I say that? Because when you look at the policies that have been promoted in the state of Mississippi, with the overwhelming amount of 80% of Mississippians agreeing with the idea of Medicaid expansion. Who's that? Those Democratic policies, right? Clean ballot initiative, Democratic policy. Saving PERS.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Democratic policies. At best, maybe not completely blue, but definitely purple. The early voting. So we have a pathway to success because 80% of Mississippians believe in what we're doing. Very quickly, just a few months ago, we had a gubernatorial candidate named Brandon Presley. Anybody remember that guy?
Yes.
Yeah, 3 points away from winning the whole doggone thing. Organically, Mississippi is actually moving towards the middle. Every 4 years, 1.2, 1.4%, we're moving towards the middle. And organically, in 4 years, we'll be in a dead even heat. Can you imagine what we'll do with some infrastructure? Can you imagine what we're doing with the right communication? Can you imagine what we can do? We're pulling together and mobilizing our best asset, and that's people in this room. You see, it's not just a money issue. And yes, we got to raise money, but we got a people problem. Never again, under my watch, will we have an ability where folks say, I want to serve the Democratic Party and know where to go. My example is Rolling Fork. You know, Rolling Fork, they had a tornado not long ago. In fact, we had the 1-year anniversary a few days ago. The problem with Rolling Fork was there were a lot of goodwill folks who rushed down there with water, supplies, and things of that nature, ready to get their hands dirty to help. And because the infrastructure was not there, it was no place to serve. Not under my watch. My goal for the state of Mississippi, for the Democratic Party, is to make sure that everyone who wants to work for the party can. Number one. And those who have a mission to serve can and will, but more importantly, that we elect Democrats, because we know that when Democrats are in power, that policies such as Medicaid expansion, policies such as early voting, and things of that repertoire actually comes to fruition. I'm also a state legislator where every day I go to battle with some of my colleagues in this room. And we battle with Republicans who are resistant to change. I'm for positive change. So at the end of the day, and I'm going to be brief, we got a way to win this thing. We will win, and we're going to do it united as Democrats on the Big Ten. And we're going to do it soon. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Chairman Taylor, for those arousing words. You know, we have to always be cognizant and mindful of the fact that there's nothing impossible if you believe it. If your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, you can achieve it. And that's the kind of attitude we have to have. We know that to offer yourself as candidates, that is one of the most strongest thing that any person can do when you think about it. Because you're offering yourself to be either accepted, publicly accepted, or publicly rejected. And so for those who've been out there and continue to go out there, we must be there behind them to push them forward. We're fortunate today to have 2 candidates that are running for in our federal elections. One who's running as the Democratic nominee for the 1st Congressional District, Ms. Diane Black, who's running for Congress.
Hello, everyone. I first want to give honor to God, who is the head of my life, and I would like to thank the Lafayette County Democrats and Christian Pinkins, the executive director of the Democrat Party, Mr. Wagner, and the chairman of Mississippi Democrat Party, Mr. Taylor, the executive director of the first CD, former mayor of Holly Springs, Mr. DeBerry, and And I would also like to thank the county chairs and thank all the elected officials. All the elected officials stand, please stand. The other guy. If you call the name too much, people remember that name, so I don't like calling the other names a lot of times. And last but not least, I would like to thank all the delegates and my volunteer campaign manager, Kelly Jacobs. And again, my name is Diane Black, and I'm a lifelong citizen of Mississippi. I've been recently widowed, and I'm the mother of 5 children, 4 boys and 1 daughter. And I have 3 daughter-in-laws and 3 grandchildren. And I'm presently the caregiver for my 92-year-old grandfather. And I'm a small business owner in Olive Branch, Mississippi, and I've owned a business for 40 years. Why am I running for U.S. representative? President Biden is asking us to send him a Congress that is for women's right to choose, and I'm that yes vote. My platform, make college affordable by expanding the Pell Grant to those making less than $100,000 and married couples, those that's making $150,000 of combined salary. Cancel student loan debt of $50,000 or less. Pass the Adams Student Loan Debt Relief Act. Next, expand the child tax credit and make it permanently. Biden reintroduced it, but it's not permanent. We need to keep it permanent. Why? Because the child tax credit reduced poverty by more than 40%. And I do get tongue-tied. Expand and strengthen Social Security. The Republicans are actively working together to rid Social Security retirement benefit. We must boost and strengthen Social Security for the lowest income retirees. We can do all the above by lifting the payroll cap to $250,000 of income. And we can drastically expand Social Security and guarantee retirement for all Americans. And women's right to reproductive health care, privacy, equal pay for women, and tackle climate change are also some of the things that I want to do. I won't yet talk. If we don't get out the votes and Democrat loses Congress, Republicans will take away more reproductive rights, tear down Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid to please them their right-wing base and fund deep tax cut for the billionaires. This is not only the reason we need to re-elect Joe Biden's Democratic Congress in the majority. And former U.S. Representative Travis Chu assured me that this is not a hard job, that he told me to show up and vote Democratic. I can't get there, though, without your help. We need funds. Kelly and I need funds. We need your check today, or you can donate through ActBlue. We have a cash app. It's in the booklet, PayPal. And thank you for having me and listening to my speech.
Thank you, Congress lady. You have to speak it into the. We are fortunate also, we're about to get back on schedule. We're fortunate also to have running for the position of U.S. Senator against a person who used to have a little backbone. But for some reason, he has lost his backbone and has become a Trump afterlife. So we have someone in the person of Ty Pinkins that is going to go to Washington, D.C. and restore credibility back to the Senate. Because right now, Mississippi has no representation in Congress. We have 2 puppets. And we need to make sure we take care of one of those puppets this year And then next year, the next 2 years, we take care of Ty Pinkins for you.
First Congressional District Democrats, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It feels so good to be up here with y'all. Now, my communications team over here, they're going to get mad at me when I say this. I had some remarks prepared for y'all. But they don't fit the occasion. I don't think they do. My name is Ty Pinkins. I am a veteran. I'm a lawyer. And I am your Democratic nominee for United States Senate. Let me explain to you why I'm so excited to be here this morning. Because this is where it all starts. The heart of our democracy, the soul of our democracy starts right here in meetings just like this. It's not in Washington, D.C. It's not out in California. It's not in somebody's office somewhere else in this country. It is in small communities just like this where our democracy starts and it thrives and the heartbeat beats every single day. So thank y'all for doing what you're doing right now. I'm running for United States Senate because Mississippi deserves better. We deserve a stronger economy. We deserve better health care, and our kids deserve a better education system. Right now, we have someone sitting in Washington, D.C. that has failed our communities for the last 30 years. You don't start off in the 80s, where we're at the end of the line in jobs and job creation and economic development, at the end of the line in health care, at the end of the line in education, and 3 decades later, where are we? Thank you very much. My goal is to move Mississippi from the back of the pack to the middle of the pack to winning the race for our kids' future. That's why I'm here today. And I want to share a little story with you of what motivates me. June 23rd, 2023, because I started this campaign 15 months ago. June 23rd is a hot summer day. And actually, I was driving in the North Delta. I'm a Delta boy. So ironically, I was lost on the old dirt road. And it was late in the evening, and I was trying to find my way home. I had been knocking on doors all day long. Hot. At that point, didn't have any money to hire any staff, so it was just me. And I'm driving down this dirt road, the sun's getting ready to set. And I said, I need to find a highway so that I can find Highway 61 that's gonna take me south. And I get to this T intersection at the end of this dirt road, and I see the highway on the right. But I also see another dirt road on the left. And I have to make a decision because that was a hard day. I had doors slammed in my face. People told me to get off my property. You got 5 seconds to get off my property, and I'm going to my house, and you better be gone before I get back. This happened last summer. So it's one of those difficult days where you think about, am I doing the right thing? You know? But I'm at the end of this dirt road, and I can either go right to get on this unknown highway that will take me back to Highway 61, or I can go left. Because on the left, I see an old field. And in the middle of that field is an old house. And at that house is one light on it. Wooden house in the middle of this field. Do you ever feel when God's telling you to do something? I'm tired, I'm gonna go home. My kids at home. I gotta feed them. But God said, you're gonna go left. So I turn left. And I drive down this dirt road. And I park in this gravel parkway. I said, this is the last door I'm gonna knock on today, and I'm going home. I walk up the steps, some rickety wooden steps. And I get on the porch, a dusty porch. I knock on the screen door. And it's quiet. I don't hear anything. I'm knocking in. And I hear something. And this is what I hear. Somebody walking in the house real slow. And the military man in me thinks that it's either someone who has an ailment or it's an elderly person. After about 45 seconds, a minute, the door opens. And through the screen door, I see the most beautiful little old lady standing in front of me, little old black lady. And she said, how you doing, baby? I'm 50 years old, she called me baby. I said, how you doing, baby? I said, ma'am, my name is Ty Pinkins, and I'm running for United States Senate. I would love to earn your vote. And she opened the door, and she stepped out, and she said, what'd you say? She couldn't hear me. I said, ma'am, my name is Ty Pinkins, and I'm running for United States Senate. I would love to earn your vote next year. She said, hold on. She went back into the house. And I stood there because when someone tells you, an old lady tells you to hold on, you hold on. After a few minutes, I heard those feet slide through the house again. She was about 80 years old. And she comes to the door, she turns around, her back to me, she backs out of the door. She backs out of the door. And when she turns around, she has 2 plates of food in her hand. Fried chicken, some rice and gravy, some sweet potatoes, and some homemade biscuits. I see you nodding your head. Some homemade biscuits. And she gave me one of the plates. And I sat down on her bench, on her porch, and she sat down in a chair. And she said, now tell me about yourself. And I said, ma'am, my name is Ty Pinkins, and I'm running for the United States. She said, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear about you. She said, who you folks is? Where you from? I said, well, I'm from Rolling Fork, just down Highway 61. My mother, she dropped out of school in the 10th grade to give birth to me. She never went back. My biological father had already left. My stepdad, who helped raise me, had already dropped out of school in the 6th grade. Never learned how to read. Started working on the farm driving tractors. And when I was 13 years old, he put me on the back of his truck and he took me to the field to start chopping cotton. And from 13 until I graduated high school, I chopped that cotton from sun up to sundown to help my parents pay the bills. And I told her, I was like, sometimes those fields nearly broke me down. But over time, I realized how that experience actually built me up. And then she said, did your mama ever graduate? I was like, no, I became the first in my family to graduate high school. Served in the military for 21 years, 3 combat tours, a law degree, 2 law degrees from Georgetown University Law Center. And I said, the reason I'm running is because Mississippi deserves better. And I told her, I said, this is what I think about. Mississippi, a state which has produced some of the most prolific writers in this country. I'll say that again. Our state has produced some of the most prolific writers in this country. We have the power to pen a new chapter for Mississippi, one of unity over division. And I say, yes, we can. One of compassion over indifference, one of progress over stagnation. We have that power because in our state, which is literally known as the birthplace of American music, we need to unite and uplift the voices of people singing all across this state. From the school teacher to the cafeteria cook to the concerned parent, singing for better education and higher pay for our teachers. From the nurse to the neurosurgeon to the elderly community member that's singing out for quality, affordable health care and better pay for our nurses. From the mailman to the postman to the police officer that's singing out for safer communities for our families. And from the factory worker up north in DeSoto County, out east in Meridian and down south on the coast, to the farm worker in my beloved Mississippi Delta, singing out for better pay and a stronger economy. First Congressional District, Democrats, you've heard these 3 words before, and I'm gonna say them again proudly because this is where we are in 2024. Yes, we can, yes, we can, and yes, we can. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate you. I brought a little gift for y'all, and it's called yard sign. But each one of y'all got a box over here, a stack of boxes, with yard signs, stakes, and push cards to get y'all started on the work that y'all gonna do over the spring, the summer, into the fall. It's right there. You're right, 06. Gotcha. Ice cold. Thank you very much. Thank y'all.